I am Plama. I was born into a very poor family where every day was a struggle. My mother worked in other people's houses, and my father tried his best to support us with whatever little he earned. We didn't have much, but we had love, hope, and dreams. From a very young age, I carried a dream in my heart. I dreamed to study abroad. I still remember when I was in class, 2, I would look up at the sky whenever I heard the sound of an airplane. My eyes would follow it until it disappeared into the clouds. I used to imagine myself sitting inside that plane, flying across the sky. One day I ran to my mother and said, "Ma, I want to fly in the sky too." She smiled gently and said, "If you study hard, one day you will sit on that plane." Those words stayed in my heart forever. From that day, I started studying with full focus and determination. No matter how hard things got, I never gave up. I studied under dim light, sometimes without proper books, sometimes without enough food, but I never stopped. Year after year, I stood first in my class. As I grew older, my dream became stronger. I started preparing for IELTS because I knew that was my gateway to studying abroad. The journey was not easy, stress, and doubt. But I kept going. Finally, the day of my IELTS result arrived. My hands were shaking as I checked the result. And then I couldn't believe it. I had done incredibly well. Not only that, I got the opportunity to study abroad with government support. I ran to my mother in the kitchen, breathless with excitement, and told her the news. Tears rolled down her eyes, not of sadness, but of pure happiness. When my father returned from the market, I told him to. The bag slipped from his hand, and he hugged me tightly. That moment felt like the happiest moment of my life. After 1 month, everything was ready. My visa arrived. My dream was finally becoming real. The day of departure came. At the airport, I hugged my parents tightly. It was one of the hardest moments of my life. Leaving them behind broke my heart. But at the same time, I knew I was stepping toward my dream. An hour before the flight, I completed all the checking procedures and entered inside. Everything felt new and overwhelming. Then I boarded the plane. A big bus took us to the aircraft. When I sat on my seat, I couldn't even fasten my seatbelt properly. An air hostess came with a warm smile and helped me. She gently told me not to be afraid and to sit calmly. I felt nervous, but more than that, I felt excited. I had specially booked a window seat, but when I reached, I saw a boy sitting there. He didn't want to move at first. We argued a little, but finally, I got my seat. And then I looked out of the window. The vast blue sky, the bright sun, and the clouds floating like dreams. It was beyond anything I had ever imagined. My eyes filled with tears. This was the same sky I used to look at as a child. Now, I was inside it. The plane started to fly higher and higher. My heart was filled with a mix of emotions, happiness, pride, excitement, and a little pain of leaving my parents behind. But I knew one thing clearly. My dream had come true. And not only that, I had also received a chance to study at Oxford University. A new life was waiting for me. From a poor girl who once watched planes from the ground, to a girl who now flies among the clouds. This is just the beginning of my journey. My new life has begun. If you like my story, please comment, and I will tell you part 2. If you subscribe, I will make more beautiful English stories for you. Stay happy and healthy life.